officially this girl is missing. Of course, it was already too late because Debbie was dead before there was even a police report. But they always wait 48 hours unless it's a minor to make sure that, okay, finally we can say officially someone is missing. So I think that should change, not only for Debbie's case, but that should change for all of the cases.
Well, that's difficult to say too, because so many people are just missing for a few hours, or overnight.
Yeah,
That makes things worse as well. But it just seems to me that in this kind of case, okay, even though Blue was acting nonchalant and all that kind of stuff like that, once he was missing for 20 days, 30 days, it would have been very simple to check his the GPS, to check his credit card records, to check the GPS on his phone. I'm sure the guy had a phone.
You're right, and I think now that you mention it, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I have never.
Rather than give this kid, Louis Colombo, who seems to be so cold-hearted in this thing, if you just think about it, walking in and your roommate's girlfriend, who probably slept over 100 times, you ate breakfast with her, and she's lying there dead in your living room. So, okay, let's go buy knives and cut her up and dump it, Why give that guy immunity? But like you said, sometimes you have to, because you got to make a deal. Did I just lose you, Carolina? I did. I lost Carolina. Let me call her back up here. We had a little break, too, in the connection with Spreaker as well. So there's a little portion, too, that didn't go on here. Carolina, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So nothing happened to you? Nobody grabbed you? Nobody? Nothing? Okay, we lost the Skype connection there for a second.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back again. Thank you.
Thank God for that. I was a little worried that maybe Colombo had found you. What's going on?
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Then you will be a person of interest because you were the last person.
I'm the last one to talk to you. That's right. Oh my God. Well, it's nice that we can, at least try and laugh through this. But it's so tragic for the families. Now, you're still in touch with the family today, right?
I am, and they have been very grateful of the fact that we have been able to talk more about Debbie as she really was, especially because Jason tried to paint a very wrong picture of the victim.
Oh, what did he try to say?
He always said, he said that she was crazy. She said that she was a stalker. She said that he did it on self-defense. According to Jason, he strangled her because because she said that if he had another girlfriend, she was going to kill him. And this is when down to her purse, and he saw, according to him, that she had a weapon. Mind you, that Debbie was never registered to have any kind of weapons at home. She was never interested into guns. But he said that he felt threatened when she said, if you continue seeing that other woman, I am going to kill you. So Jason said that it was in self-defense, and he tried to paint a very horrible picture. Fortunately, the Las Vegas judge who was handling this case, she's a woman, Judge Delaney, she wanted to send a very strong message about domestic violence. She wouldn't tolerate any of that, any of those excuses that Jason wanted to have. At first, the prosecution was asking for the death penalty, but on death penalty cases, before the trial even starts, they go to a committee. And because Jason had claimed that it was a self-defense, it didn't go through he didn't qualify for the death penalty.
How much time did he get?
He got life in prison, but he is eligible for parole in 10 years.
Yeah.
So this will be in 5 because he got arrested January 2011. So by January of 2021, he will be eligible for parole. I'm pretty sure that will never happen for someone to go into a parole hearing. First of all, you have to have very good behavior, and also the family gets called again. So I'm sure he won't get out, at least on the first try.
Because he hasn't had good behavior in prison?
Well, not that he hasn't had good behavior in prison, but he's tried to commit suicide. He's been isolated a couple of times, and this is a man that he doesn't have any, he seems like he doesn't have any feelings for anyone else but for himself. Even in court, he has 2 children. He has 2 little boys. And the prosecutor said, "You're a liar." And Jason said, "Yes, I am. Would you lie on your son's life just to get away with something you want?" And he said, "Yes."
Really?
Yeah, so he admitted to many things. He lied in court. And this is one of the key evidence pieces in this trial. When Jason's attorney, when they were having their arguments, they were able to show a post-it. It was a note that, according to Jason, Debbie had left in his car. And the note says something like, "If you're not with me, I'm going to kill you." So he showed that note to the jury, saying, "Oh, I was so terrified of this woman, and this is why I killed Debbie, because she was going to kill me if I had someone else." He wanted to play the victim. 2 or 3 days, this is during the trial, 2 or 3 days when they're doing the trial, before this evidence comes in place, the prosecution is going through all Jason's text messages, because they already had his computer with them. And in the text messages, they found that Jason was the one that Jason knew that note wasn't written by Debbie. It was actually Colombo that had written the note and put it on Jason's car as a joke. Uh-huh. And Jason knew about this because they exchanged text messages saying, "Oh man, you scared me when I saw that note and I thought it was Debbie." And he said, no, I was just kidding. So Jason was able to lie in front of the jury, of the judge, of everyone there, of his own family. So that sent also a very strong message to the jury that we are dealing with a liar.
Oh, boy. Yeah, but still, eligible for parole in 10 years makes me worried.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I know. But now the real hero in this thing is Debbie's family. You would say mostly the sister who came to town here like a bulldozer. Where did she stay when she came to town? Did she have friends, or she just came here and stayed at a hotel?
She stayed in hotels, and this is one of the saddest part of this story. Debbie's sister, Celeste, she's a very, very strong woman. She loved dearly her little sister. She was like a mother to Debbie, even though she had her own mother, which was a great lady. But she loved Debbie, and the case got postponed 7 times. So every time Celeste had to go to Vegas because she thought the trial was going to start, she had to take days off from work. She's a single mother of 2 kids, and she lost her job because her boss told her, "Hey, if you continue taking day offs, then I'm gonna fire you." And Celeste said, "Well, it's my sister's trial. I have to be there for her." And she lost her job.
Where did she work?
She used to work for a company that does like they send bills to people.
Okay.
Like for a billing company.
I would love to know the name of that company. Okay, but Celeste Flores, that's her name, Flores, Celeste?
Correct, yeah.
So she's the real hero in this.
She's hero. She's a hero. She's a very strong woman, very opinionated, and people. She has so many fans on Facebook now because of this. She still makes a lot of posts. Actually, Debbie has a Facebook page, and Celeste says that Debbie is alive through her Facebook, right. Just because people still every Christmas, every time it's Debbie's birthday, people still go there and they remember Debbie and they send their messages and very sweet messages to the family.
Well, that's beautiful. I know a couple of people too that passed on, and their Facebook pages are still there, and we do the same thing. It is really sad when you see that name come up. It's heartbreaking. I had a friend who was 19 years old who passed on. It was last year on Christmas Eve, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
She died in her sleep. Yep, heartbreaking. Brother. But, so why don't you leave us with how people can find you, how they can help the family, and how they can get the book signing, and all that kind of information.
Well, yeah, the book signing will be this upcoming Saturday in Las Vegas at 2 o'clock. I'll be at the Barnes & Noble. This is on the one on Rainbow. 2191, I believe. I will be there for an hour signing books. The book is available to get it. I love to read, and I always like to have the books on my hand. But if people want to read it on their phone, they can also buy it on iTunes. They can buy it in Barnes and Noble. They can buy it on Amazon. You can find it under Dancing on Her Grave, and you can find me on social media if you want to buy the book and want me on my co-author to sign it. I'm on social media under my first and last name, Carolina Sarassa, which is Sarassa. And the book talks about Debbie, but it also has a couple of chapters where it focuses on domestic violence and why this happens, and how Debbie's case could be a reflection for all of us. So if we have a relationship that's turbulent and that's not really healthy, so we can say no and put a stop to it. I had a woman a couple of days ago. She made me think a lot. She came up to me and she said, "Hey, I found you on Facebook. I watched you on the newscast, and I know you have a book coming up. I would like to give it to my daughter. She's a teenager." And at first, I'm like, "Oh, it's a true crime book to a teenager." I was a little shocked, and she said, "Yeah, because as women, as mothers, we always tell our daughters, don't do this. This guy is not for you." But if they are able to see this, people can just Google Debbie Flores and see how beautiful this woman was, how young, talented. And if people can just read this book or any book that talks about domestic violence and see this woman, they could see if this happened to Debbie, this could happen to anyone. As I was writing the book some night, I have to stop and cry and think, this could have happened to me. This could have happened to anyone.
Yeah, that's so true. You know, it can happen to anybody, and especially if you have a roommate who's willing to help you. Because if you just think, man, what if he didn't have a roommate? What if it just would have been Blue there alone, panicking, you know, with his body in his living room? Maybe he would have fessed up right then and there, you know, and his young girl could have had a decent burial as well. I can't imagine how they gave this guy immunity, but those are the breaks, right?
Yeah. Yeah, at least Jason, who was the one that, at the end, he was the one that ended, he was the one that ended Debbie's life. So I know what happened to the body was horrible, but we lost a life. And in this case, two families had a loss. Jason's family lost Jason, hopefully forever. Hopefully he's in jail forever. So his kids are suffering, his ex-wife, his mother, his sister. They lost a family member that's now in jail forever. And the Flores family lost their daughter forever.
I hear you. Okay, I want to thank you so much for coming on today, Carolina. And
no, thank you, Ed. Thank you so much.
And your co-author, Diana Montaigne, she wrote a book too called "I Would Find a Girl Walking."
Yeah, Diana is very talented. She's written many books. I Will Find a Girl Walking is about a serial killer in Florida, and he was a monster. And basically, this quote was taken from him, from his trial. He was sentenced to the death penalty in 1986, and the guy said, I would just find a girl walking, and he would take him in his car and kill them. He killed like 25 women.
Amazing. Yeah, a guy named Gerald Stano.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct. That crazy guy.
Yeah, I'll put the links to her books up too on the Opperman Report blog, along with the links to this book here about the dancer, Dancing on Her Grave: The Murder of a Las Vegas Showgirl. Catalina, thank you so much. Okay, and everyone, be sure you can find the links to her book on my blog, the Opperman Report blog, and the book signing's coming up April 11th. 2 p.m. at the Barnes & Noble over there in North Rainbow. It's not far at all. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Oh, my God.
Thank you, Debbie, for letting us talk about her case. Yeah, and thank you, Ed, and I really hope to see you there and meet you in person on Saturday.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't get around much. I'm so busy. But if I can, I definitely will. I'll bring my daughter with me, too, okay?
Oh, great.
So thank you very much,
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to play some commercials here real quick. I'll be right back with some more comments and announcements. I want to describe a little bit more to you what we're doing with our thing there with the new archived, special archive section on the OppermanReport.com website after these messages. And now a word from our sponsors. We are listener-sponsored, and we appreciate your donations. If you like the show, please visit OppermanReport.com and click on the donate button. Or you can donate directly through PayPal at OppermanReport@gmail.com. We have Mike Ray of InfinityHomePlans.com. He's the host of Parlay over at CJ Mars Radio, Thursday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you need custom home designs, stock plans, or 3D work, he's your one-stop shop for home design and drafting needs. Mike Gray at InfinityHomePlans.com. If you're looking for essential oils, stop by and check out Essentially Tammy on Facebook. She is Young Living Essential Oils Independent Distributor. Now, these are 100% therapeutic grade oils. They help support the body's natural functions. You can visit her website posted on Essentially Tammy to see the current deals, or email at JockoTammy, JOCATAMI @yahoo.com, or call 352-239-8546. 352-239-8546. Hey, if you need a private investigator, go to my website, emailrevealer.com. We offer asset searches, locates, skip tracing, adoption investigations, online infidelity investigations. We can recover deleted text messages from a cell phone or trace an email to online dating websites to catch people cheating. That's emailrevealer.com, or you can call 800-572-9762. 800-572-9762 for emailrevealer.com, my PI website. Pacific West Bamboo. It's your premier source for construction and craft-grade bamboo poles. They're announcing their latest project with EcoHead Event Sanitation, making bamboo composting bathrooms and porta-potties. Their first display will be at the Lucidity Festival in Santa Ynez, California, April 11th to the 13th. Come by and say hi and see what you can build with bamboo. Contact them for any kind of event planning, display building. If you need construction-grade or craft-grade bamboo products, call Amanda at 503-839-8126, 503-839-8126, or visit PacificWestBamboo.com, their brand new website. We're also sponsored by the New World Mexican Women. This is a rural Mexican craft women's cooperative. They are traditional makers of fine handcrafted, authentic jewelry. They use beautiful stone mosaics and Pacific blue Abilene inlay. They have a wonderful book of love letters written to their men in the United States, begging them to return to their families in Mexico. But they've written a new book, and it's it's about a young girl that falls in love with a rodeo bull rider and runs off with him without telling her family. It's a beautiful love story called Azucena Part 1, Azucena to the Rodeo. You can find their books and jewelry by clicking on their banner ad at OppermanReport.com or by Googling New World Mexican Women. You can also promote your business or website right here and have your ad played all over the world 7 days a week by emailing OppermanReport@gmail.com or calling 800-572-9762. Welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. This show is brought to you by Audible.com. You go to audibletrial.com/Opperman Report. It's free to sign up, and you can get a free audiobook for free. Okay, and that helps to support the show. Hey, I forgot to mention, we just had a great show just now with Carolina Sarassa, the author of this book, Dancing on Her Grave, The Murder of a Las Vegas Showgirl. It's available on Amazon.com in pre-order, and the link is also available on my blog, the Opperman Report blog. I forgot to mention, though, that we have coming up on this Friday night. Everyone's out there talking about this movie, Going Clear, about Scientology. We have Arnaldo, what is his name here? Arnaldo Lerma, okay? And this guy has been fighting with Scientology for like 30 years now. He was exposing Scientology back on Usenet back in the 90s. and he's the one who exposed the Xenu and all that kind of stuff. He brought all that stuff out back in the Usenet days. Scientology went after him in lawsuits and private investigators and harassment, and they admitted in court that they spent $1.9 million to go after our guest, Arnaldo Lerma. He also has all this kind of fascinating information that I know you guys are going to be interested in. Stuff about L. Ron Hubbard's connection to Aleister Crowley. And he was describing to me in a chat recently, we haven't talked on the phone yet, but we've been chatting back and forth over Facebook. He described to me about how Hubbard had paintings of Crowley on the walls there at the, on the Sea Org and at these different centers. He also knows all about Jack Parsons and all kinds of fascinating stuff about that aspect of Hubbard and Crowley and Parsons. Jack Parsons was a Satanist who was part of a JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which was also called Jack Parsons Lab. NASA, rocket and stuff. That's who Jack Parsons was, and he was involved with Hubbard. I think they even swapped wives at one point too, and they had to. But anyway, we'll be getting into all that with Arnaldo Lerma coming up this Friday night live. The week after that, we're kind of open. We have a couple of guests we're trying to get into that slot there. It could be John Draper, the Captain Crunch, the phone freak. It could be this other guy who wrote this fascinating book about those LSD dealers that were involved with the... who's that guy? You know the guy, the big one, Timothy Leary. Okay, so that's coming up too. That'll be next week after that. Then we have that big show on Marilyn Monroe, the murder of Marilyn Monroe. We also got something coming up on Kent State we're going to be doing. So these are all going to be the live Friday night shows. But what I'm trying to get out there to people, and Friday night we had a lot of technical problems, so the show didn't really get out there to too many people. I'm hoping with today's show we can reach some more people. But we've set up a new membership-only section to the OppermanReport.com website. Okay, and it's called Special Archives. And right now we have 3 shows on there that are for sale for $2 each. One is about the shooting in San Diego in 1979. It's a school shooting, the first one that was done by this girl named Debbie Spence. Fascinating story, and this is the first school shooting, and it inspired that song by Bob Geldof called "I Don't Like Mondays." So my guest, Nathan Lewinsky, came on with me. We discussed this for about an hour and 45 minutes. Fascinating story, and he did a lot of research on this case. So that's one show that's for sale. Another one is this woman, Kelly Banaski. You got to check that one out. Now, that's a mind-blowing story. And it's one of those stories. If you remember the old days when the show was a lot more relaxed in the middle of the night, I would just have a guest talking, and I would just let them talk, because it was just so fascinating. We're all riveted to the conversation. That's this show, man. Kelly Banaski, fascinating woman. She befriended this kid. He was like a heavy metal kid. He worked at those haunted houses and stuff like that, and he was kind of a Satanist, heavy metal Satanist kind of kid, going around giving the horns and stuff. He lived with his parents in a garage. He had no bathroom, no kitchen in that garage. He was about 35 years old by the time this murder took place. He meets some woman at a liquor store. She was a raging alcoholic, this poor woman traveling across country, left her husband, left her kids. She had 6 kids. He lures her back to his garage there. This guy had no car, by the way. Someone else gave him a ride to lure this woman back to his garage there. Kills her in the garage, chops her up in the garage, takes body parts in buckets out to the backyard to a fire pit, burns it, cooks it, and eats part of her body. Now, that's a whole story in itself. But the woman who I interviewed, she's also was pen pals and telephone pals with people like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and Drew Peterson. So we have all that going on as well. Let me tell you, this is a really, really quality interview. I'm very proud of it. And it's one there. It's on our private section now. That's membership only. Now, for today, You can go there. You can buy it for $2 each show for $2. You can listen to it right now. You can download it, listen immediately. In the future, by Monday or Tuesday, we're gonna have it set up that you can have a monthly membership for like $7, a quarterly membership for like $19, and a yearly membership. I forget what the prices are, but it's cheap, and we get these memberships, man. Now we can fund, money to do bigger investigations, more shows, more impromptu shows like the one we just did right now with this Carolina Sarassa. So that's the plan with that. So, and I even said, I went out Friday night, I went out and I said that what we would be doing is, if we had 150 subscribers by next Tuesday, that I would come on and do a show and give all the dirt that I know about Revolution Radio, about the hosts over there, about people who I know over there that are fakes and phonies and con artists, and emails that I have that backs all this up, and some of the other adventures my adventures in this alternative community. And I'll name names and I'll tell you everything I know. I don't care anymore. There's so much. What I've been saying all along for the past year is, if you've been skeptical about some of these people, double down your skepticism, because so much of it is crap. They all know it's crap. They all know each other. And they'll feed each other crap, and they all support each other, even though that they know that the information they're putting out there in the airwaves is all crap. So I can talk about the Millers, the story about the Millers, and how I tried to get that. The Millers are the Las Vegas shooters. Jared, I think Amanda Miller. The ones they were at Bundy Ranch and all that stuff. I'll tell you that whole story, and about how I tried to get that story out in the media, and certain people said, yeah, we don't want to be involved. Other people, said, oh yeah, we want that story. We worked on it for 12 hours, but other people weren't interested. So we'll get all that out there to you. We'll let you know who was interested and who wasn't interested, and you can draw your own conclusions from all that. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's our next little goal here, is to build up the archives in this member-only section. For people that are panicking, the Friday night show is always going to be free. I just did a free show for you right now on Sunday afternoon, on Easter Sunday, when I should be cooking for my kid. Okay, but she's a vegan anyway, so we eat bread and water. It doesn't matter. But what do you call it? The plan is, we get some membership money coming in, get some subscribers coming in. We sell you some content. We take that money, and then we can produce more shows during the week. We're trying to do a whole series on Ted Gunderson. I'm going to interview everybody who's ever known Ted Gunderson and get it all out there. You make up your own minds and come back to me and tell me what you think. Okay? That's one thing. Then, of course, West Memphis 3, we're always working on that. And anyway, so that's where we're going. That's the plan. Also, to defer costs, if you can come up with some advertisers for us. If you want to advertise on the show, the rates are so cheap, it's not even funny. And by the way, the TalkStream Live ratings are going to be coming out soon. The new quarterly ratings will be coming out. The top 50, I got a feeling we'll be in the top 50. If not, we got to be in the top 100. We got to be. We're number 3, number 5, number 4 every week, week after week after week. So you want to lock in your low ad rates now, you can contact me at oppermanreport@gmail.com. If you got some kind of something you want me to look up, work into, report on, like this Marilyn Monroe case came to me that way, this Princess Diana case came to me that way, you email me at oppermanreport@gmail.com. Now, if you want to hire me as a private investigator, please don't email that address and tell me your private information, because other people read that email. Okay, if it's PI stuff, okay, well, you want to hire me as a private investigator, go to oppermaninvestigations@gmail.com, or you go to the website emailrevealer.com, because that way it's private, it's official, and it's controlled. We go to the radio station, the radio show email, Christoph reads it, Ann reads it, there's other people who read it too, so that's all public stuff. Want to thank Ann Francis and Christoph Scott Moses, Keith Davis, my sponsors, Mike Gray and Amanda. I wish you all a happy Easter to the beautiful women down there in Mexico, the New World Mexican women. Thank you all so much for all your support. It was a year ago on Easter. The show was only on Revolution Radio. And I can remember spending last Easter Sunday saying, "Hey, this ain't gonna work out." Okay, we were only on there a few months, but already the what was it? It was in the wind. You know, what do they call it? It was already, we knew what was blowing in the wind, that we weren't going to be long on that station. It was just intolerable, the conditions we went through. If you guys subscribe to 150 subscribers, I'll tell you about all the sabotage, the harassment, all the nonsense we went through trying to get that show on every week. I'm going to tell you all about it. You'd love to hear the story. So it was a year ago on Easter that I went around starting looking for other stations to carry us, to simulcast us, to replay us. So now that we can have this nice, strong platform to come to you, the audience, which is the most important person in all of this, okay? That I'm trying to give you the information that I know and sources that I know that I feel are reliable, and get these stories out to you. And then slip in here and there little tidbits that I know as well, that even the guest sometimes doesn't know, that I'm trying to get across and get out to you in the public domain. And then hopefully years from now, someone will go back and look at all this and understand what I'm trying to get out there to you. So, happy Easter. Thank you to all my staff and producers and sponsors and listeners. Thank you all. I hope you'll have a great Easter Sunday. And we'll be back this Friday night with Arnaldo, I think it's Lerma, or Arnaldo Lerma. He's going to be talking about the Church of Scientology. And I got to tell you, this is going to be way beyond that movie Going Clear. You're going to hear stuff that you're never going to hear on there. So thank you all very much for listening in, and I'll see you Friday night. Unless we do something impromptu before then.